Are you down to donk? If so, you may want to reconsider Donkey Kong on the Atari 2600. Released in 1982 by Coleco, one of Atari's biggest home market competitors. The arcade game, of course, being created by Nintendo, reigning king of the home console market throughout the majority of the 80s. In typical Donkey Kong fashion, the goal of this game is to avoid obstacles and climb ladders to save your girlfriend Pauline. But there's a lot more to talk about with this one. Now, I could go into great length about this game's graphical flaws, like how Donkey Kong looks like a gingerbread man, or how Pauline looks like she has a fish for a head. But this is the 2600 in the early 80s, and compromises generally needs to be made. Besides, Mario, or Jumpman in this case, looks recognizable enough, unless he's climbing a ladder, in which case he looks like a red blob. It's the gameplay of Donkey Kong that is unfortunately lacking. You can make him dance. It's the little things. It controls well enough, but, well, there are only 2 levels. Oh, I just got juked by that rubber ducky. Alright, so, arguably the arcade version of Donkey Kong could be called lacking with only 4 levels, but its design was pretty clever for gulping quarters. You'd beat 2 levels, and then start over, beat 3 levels, and so on and so forth as the difficulty became progressively, well, more difficult. This version, you just beat the same 2 levels over and over. I'm trying to look at this game objectively, like when I was a kid or something. See, I was born in '86, so I guess you could say I was more of a '90s kid. But I grew up with a 2600 and a Nintendo. I could tell which one was graphically superior, but I'd still alternate between them pretty regularly, even back then. And I didn't really care for this game. But I loved the NES version, with its 3 levels, and the arcade version, despite the fact that I could never beat it. This game could just offer a lot more. It doesn't even have bonus items for you to pick up. It's just a very stripped-down experience. The Atari versions of Donkey Kong Jr. and Mario Bros., on the other hand, awesome conversions. I still think owning it for the sheer novelty might be worth it if you're into collecting. The cartridge itself, well, it certainly stands out with its white plastic. And seeing the Nintendo logo on an Atari game is pretty cool. But even considering the capabilities of the 2600, there are plenty of other games I'd rather come back to before this one. Save for a quick nostalgia trip.